my mother was a hippie. She really was. And there was nothing better than going to antique fairs or going to flea markets, or we'd be driving down the street. She'd go, "Oh my gosh, look at that amazing piece of furniture." And I'd go, "What?" And we'd stop and we'd put it in our car and take it home. We didn't have a lot of money. So I will say that was probably a lot of why we were always doing these things. My mother was making slip covers. She was doing all these things. That was our way of life, right? So she'd be picking up these great pieces of furniture, and I'm like, well, what are we going to do with those? And she'd refinish them. So I really learned how to refinish furniture and make slip covers and sew window treatments and do all of those things from the time I was a kid. And I remember in high school, my mother's like, "Do you want to redo your room?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I'm like, "Where are we going to buy furniture?" And she goes, "Oh, we're not going to buy furniture." So she found this gigantic yellow, it was a mushroom. It was like a chair. So that was what we bought for my room. And that was the start of it. We found a couple really great pieces of furniture. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to paint the black lacquer, and we're going to get great big glass knobs for them and paint the middles yellow. They'll go with the mushroom. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to make a zebra bedspread. You know, we found this great black and white zebra and this marvelous trim that we put on the bottom of it. We found an old traffic light, believe it or not. And she was able to fix it so it would work. That became a hanging light fixture. That was kind of my foray into interior design. I didn't realize that this was something that I could really do. I just thought that this is what everybody did, because that's how we, how we lived. At the time, we used the phone book. We would go through the yellow pages. So I sent out 20 resumes, and I got five interviews, and I had 3 job offers. So I was offered a job with a commercial interior design studio, with a lighting designer, and with this company that did kitchens and bathrooms. And I thought, that could be really interesting. My design specialty is really, it's kitchens and bathrooms. I mean, I love doing kitchens and bathrooms, anything involving millwork and cabinetry and molding, bars and entertainment rooms and wine rooms. It's an interesting combination, because the technicality of what I do with the cabinetry is such a perfect blend for what I do with interiors. So what does that mean? Someone will call me in, and my neighbor, she's become my friend and a really good client. She happened to know me through someone else, and she said, "I need an office. It's COVID. I'm stuck home. I'm not going into the city." She's a big executive. She said, "I need to have 6 TV screens. I need to be able to stream all, this part of her job, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, all right. And she walks me down through her house, which was cute, down into her basement. She walks me through this totally messy basement and back into this back corner. And I said, "Well, we can do an amazing office for you, but do you really want to walk to work every day through the other room?" She's like, "Well, what can we do out there?" Yeah. And I said to her, "Well, what do you love?" She said, "I need a gym. I have a big family. We love to entertain inside, so I need a gathering place." She said, "And I go to Napa 5 times a year. I have an amazing wine collection, and I'd like to be able to entertain." I'm like, "Oh, well, let's do it." And we did. And to this day, she's like, "I am so glad that I met you, and that you said to me, you're going to walk through this mess every day." Actually, I think I said to her, "This is like getting off the bus in Port Authority, and walking through garbage day in the city, with everything piled up, to be able to get to, your very lovely office." I wish I knew more about business. I think in design school, they don't really teach you anything at all about business. And when I started as this design assistant, I started to learn the kitchen and bath business. And a year and a half later, they said to me, "We would really like you to develop a division of our company." I said, "Okay, doing what?" And they said, "Commercial development." And at the time, townhouses are everywhere now. When I started out many years ago, townhouses were a new thing, and high rises and things like that. And I actually had running at one time 9 different properties within a 35-mile radius of Bergen County. So I had projects in New York State, I had projects in South Jersey, I had projects in Western Jersey. And I did the design work, I did the presentations to get the contracts, I bid the contracts. Once it was done, I set up their centers for selections. I met with every client. I did the ordering, I did the on-site measuring, I did the job supervision, and I did the billing. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? had I realized at the time I was learning how to run a business, it would have been different. I was just in panic mode because I was 22 years old and I'm on a job site sitting in construction meetings with 40 men. And I was, the only woman there, and there was no Me Too movement back then. So it was an instant education. So I wish I had had a little more business knowledge. I wish I had a little more, I wish I had a better voice back then. I really probably didn't stand up for myself as well as I could have. So I think you really have to know your truth and speak your truth and just not doubt yourself when it comes to situations, but also don't be afraid to learn something new. So I think that's really important. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to learn something new. And when the door of opportunity opens, you need to walk through it because you never know when another one's going to open. I bring my Reiki intuition to my clients' homes without saying, hey, I'm bringing something special, to what we're doing. Because they'll always say, you so get me. Like, you are right on target with what I need. You knew what I was going to say before I said it. You picked things out I would never pick for myself, and they're perfect. So I think there are ways that we can use that extra sensitivity and bring to spaces without being blatant about it. So I think that is something that sets me apart. I'm actually going to start delving a little more into bringing some of this energy work into my work. I'm writing a blog all about using colors of the chakra to decorate your home. We are offering a whole new line of services. I'm going to be speaking at the Kitchen and Bath show in February. I have an ebook that's coming out, one of 3 ebooks coming out. I'm working on some really cool things that I can't really talk about because I don't want to jinx them because I am terribly superstitious.